Kachenu, NamRA nchi yetu, NamRA Kachenu, NamRA nchi yetu, NamRA Kachenu, NamRA nchi yetu, NamRA Kachenu, NamRA nchi yetu.
NamRA, serving with passion.
Hello and welcome to this edition of NamRA Kachenu, where the focus is on tax, customs and excise matters. I am Puye Ipawa Mwaitako, keeping you company for the next half an hour or so. In recent developments, NamRA trains its staff on ITAS, staff engagement continues, taxpayers submit their returns leading to the 30th of June 2023. All that and more coming to you in a while. As a way of NamRA investing on its people, NamRA's ITAS key users conducted a training sessions in all the regions to enhance the utilization of the integrated tax administration system. Let's have a look on how the various sessions went.
The Tax Systems and Customer Services Department decided to embark on a training, end-user training, that's the ITAS end-user training. So with the recent recruitment that NamRA made in the 2023 financial year, we saw it fit that a lot of people were recruited into new positions, as well as new appointees were appointed, or employees were appointed. It is prudent enough to take note that all these employees are supposed to acquaint themselves with the business processes as well as the system requirements of their new roles. Now, in order to build capacity within NamRA, as well as to invest in its people, and as well as one of NamRA's strategic objectives, it is important, or it is imperative to conduct ITAS end-user training. So what we are doing now, we are in the regions and we are taking NamRA staff members through how to operate the system, as well as to assess their knowledge of the system and to align and streamline their operations with the system itself. This will inevitably add to the efficient operation of the system, as well as delivering of service to our taxpayers. And with that, I'd like to say thank you.
Moving on to our next story, on June 12, 2023, NamRA held a staff engagement to provide an update on key activities and major projects ahead.
To the staff engagement, and I'm sure when we leave this place today, we will leave indeed engaged, informed and motivated.
Can I invite all the staff that have joined us, or joined NamRA from the last time we were here, just to come to the podium and
it's hardly, almost impossible for you to make any influence on anybody who has not felt your presence.
Like I said, if we are saying we want to be world class, this whole system is us moving towards becoming world class. And also one of our measures of success is placed in the strategic plan under performance management is that we inculcate a culture of performance. And then this project is really to build towards achieving a culture of high performance.
I want us to have a mindset of a winner. A mindset, and for you to win, you need to be clear about the target. You need to be clear about what needs to be achieved. You need to know that you need to score goals. You need to have a mindset, a growth mindset, not a fixed mindset. A mindset that knows that you can determine what is that which is required for us to win.
June 30, 2023 witnessed a flurry of activities at all NamRA's regional offices, with taxpayers turning up in great numbers to meet the submission deadline. The NamRA dedicated staff helped and guided the taxpayers to ensure a smooth process for the taxpayers. After the short break, we will engage Ndeyapo Karipi, North Central Regional Operational Manager for Domestic Taxes at the Namibia Revenue Agency. Stay tuned.
We administer tax and custom laws so efficiently and consistently. We are ethical, effective in changing lives. We are there for you. This is your revenue.
NamRA, serving with passion to positively impact the livelihood of every Namibian.
Welcome back to NamRA Kachenu. Joining us is Ms. Ndeyapo Karipi. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Hi, my name is Ndeyapo Karipi and I am the Regional Operation Manager of the North Central Region. The North Central Region encompasses of a bit of Kunene and Oshikoto, and of course the entire Oshozondrupa region. The main office is situated in Ochivaronga, corner of Dr. Libertina Amadila Street and Franz Ndongo. The region has 2 satellite offices, one in Korikas and one in Tsibeb.
Ms. Karipi, would you tell us your experience since joining NamRA and what you found in your office?
When I started in October 2021, I found an already established office with a dynamic team, a collaborative team, a team that was willing to embody everything that NamRA stood for, a team that was excited for the future, which was NamRA. The staff count at the time was plus minus 60 people. The journey has been an exceptional one. It has been one that has been filled with engagement, expectation. It has been turbulent, but every turbulence was really met with just the hope of a new day, which was NamRA, with the hope of a better tax administration process, That's been the journey. The journey has been one of growth, really, at an exponential rate, and it has been one of collaboration and really, just like I said before, engagement and leadership that I've experienced, that I've gained from my leaders, and I hope that I could share with those that report to me.
Oh, okay. So what are some of the challenges you encounter when dealing with taxpayers in your region?
Thank you for that question. We do have experienced challenges with taxpayers, one of them being that we've identified or we've observed that taxpayers are really reluctant to use the integrated tax administration system, a system that was meant to be, that was created to improve the efficiency of the tax administration process, to reduce the delays within the tax administration process, and to be transparent, to provide that transparency to taxpayers, a system that was created for taxpayers. We've observed that taxpayers are really reluctant to use it. They still come into the office going the manual route. That's one of the challenges that we've experienced with the from taxpayers. When we started, when I started in October 2021, the tax base that was on that was using the e-filer system, there was about 20%. Today, 30% of taxpayers are using the e-filer. So we are seeing a gradual increase in the number of people using the platform, but we want to see a substantial increase. We would like to move that percentage to about more than 50% of the tax base in the region using the e-filer platform, the tax administration system. The other is just really reluctance by taxpayers to use technology, which is really the cornerstone of the global economy that we're in today. We're seeing taxpayers coming in with large amounts of cash at the cash office trying to make payments, as opposed to using the banking platforms that are there for them. Naturally would like to encourage the use of that rather than coming in with large amounts of cash. The other challenge or issue that we've really identified is through our audits. We've identified that a number of there are those taxpayers, not a number, there are those taxpayers who deliberately enter into transactions to avoid paying taxes. Through our audits, we've identified taxpayers who enter into transactions, usually typically related party transactions, with the main aim of reducing their tax liability, not paying taxes at all, or benefiting from provisions in tax law, unrightfully so. And it's actually one of the biggest challenges that our audit teams are facing, is really trying to validate those transactions. And often these transactions cannot be validated, they cannot be substantiated. And we noticed that there's a large amount of related party transactions in our region. The other is taxpayers coming into our offices for audits unprepared. They come either with invoices that are not valid, or they don't bring the supporting documentation. This delays the finalization of our audit process and therefore negatively impacts the efficiency of our office. Naturally, we do understand that there's an education part element to it, where we need to educate our taxpayers, which we are currently doing. But that is one of the challenges that we're facing. Also, when auditors request for supporting documentation to validate transactions during the audit process, we find that taxpayers either do not provide this information, or they take some time to provide this information, again delaying the finalization of audits in our office.
That's commendable. Can you also tell us about some of the initiatives that you are currently undertaking to educate the taxpayers in your region?
Part of trying to meet our objective of increasing the usage of the integrated tax administration system by increasing the number of active taxpayers who are e-filers, when taxpayers come into the office, what we do is we assist them with submitting their returns or interacting on the system. There's a designated area in the office where taxpayers are then assisted in using the system. And in doing so, they learn how to use the system, but they also learn the benefits of the system. That's one of the initiatives that we have in the office. The other is that there's a tax education committee This education committee comprises of members, staff members from the office, and the core objective of this committee is to identify educational needs and engagements within the region, and then initiate activities or engagements that would address those needs. One of the approaches that we are taking is to be sector and industry specific. We have stakeholder engagements within the tax space. We look at taxpayers that have similar needs or would have similar questions. For example, we plan to have a stakeholder engagement with bookkeepers. We believe that bookkeepers have specific tax administration questions and needs that they would like satisfied, and also challenges that they're experiencing. We've had stakeholder engagement with small, medium enterprises, again addressing their specific needs with regards to tax administration, or when we speak of needs, we're speaking of educational needs, of course, what they need to be educated on, what they need to know. So our approach when it comes to stakeholder engagement is to be specific, to cater to the taxpayer group, and that's the approach that we've taken for this financial year.
Ms. Karipi, are there any plans to take your services to towns and places where you don't have offices?
Thank you for that question. So there are no specific regional plans, but as domestic taxes, we are looking into evaluating the need for satellite offices in various towns within the different regions. We have identified that there's most definitely a need, especially in towns that are further away from the regional office, the main office, or the satellite office. We're busy with the process of identifying these towns that have a large taxpayer population, that are far from or do not have direct access to the tax administration assistance. Either they're far from the satellite offices or they are further from the regional office. This process is underway. It is a project that the Domestic Taxes Department has undertaken, and it's within the 2023-2024 financial year.
What is your message to the viewers?
My message to the viewers is that we all have an obligation to humanity. We have an obligation to give back to this world and to leave this world better than what we found it. You may not be contributing to a charity directly or orphanage or doing any charitable activity, but when you declare your taxes, when you pay your taxes honestly and rightfully so, you help and you contribute to the betterment of our children and the children that will be here well after we are gone. You contribute and you help the elderly who can no longer earn money to take care of themselves. You contribute to those who are sick. That is your contribution to society. That is how you give back to this world that has given you so much, to this country. You contribute to the jobs, really. There are so many civil servants that feed their families through your contribution. So my message to you is take pride in being compliant. Take pride in paying your taxes. It's the right thing to do. It's patriotic, but it's also rooted in humanity. My message to the NamRA staff is thank you. Thank you for bringing your best foot forward every single day, for showing up, for providing a service, for serving with passion, with a smile on your face every single day. Thank you for doing what you do, for interpreting the law, for applying the law, because it's your action that NamRA is able to fulfill its mandate. It's what you do for this institution that we're able to fulfill our mandate. And in doing so, we make this country, Namibia, our home, a better place for everybody. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Karipi, for sharing your insight and the valuable work you are doing in your region.
Thank you for having me.
Now, that was Ndeyapo Karipi, the North Central Regional Operation Manager for Domestic Taxes at the Namibia Revenue Agency. See you after the break.
We administer tax and custom laws so efficiently and consistently. We are ethical, effective in changing lives. We are there for you. This is your revenue.
NamRA, serving with passion to positively impact the livelihood of every Namibian.
Now let's meet one of NamRA's dedicated staff members. Today we are joined by Joseph Diaz, a risk management officer stationed at Oshikango. Let's hear his story.
My name is Joseph Diaz. I was born in a small village in Kavango West, Rupara. I grew up in Katima, which is in Zambezi region, is where I completed my school. My first job was as a mechanic. I happened to continue to apply and look for jobs, seeking for job as a bus driver, transporting people from Zambezi region to Windhoek. Continued to apply for jobs until when I happened to get a job in the Ministry of Finance in the Department of Customs as an assistant custom officer. I worked for 26 years in customs. Yeah, what kept me going in life, it was the word of God, which I come to happen to understand what it says. It says that with God all things are possible. So I believed that one day God will change my situation and give me a better condition or a better life. So I continue to believe that things will change for good. Yes, I happened to apply for NamRA. I applied and I was given an offer as a senior risk management officer. This is the current job I'm doing, and I just started this month. My future plans I have is to upgrade my career, my skill, my knowledge, so that I can be part of this world-class organization which we are to establish, and do what I'm expected to do and to contribute in this organization. And I believe there's a lot for me to learn, and I'm willing to learn with everyone. I'm a man who believes in teamwork, and I also believe in every problem as a solution, because the word of God makes us to believe that where there is no way, God can make a way. So that means that everything can be done, and everything can be solved. Yes, I just want to encourage the viewers that please, it's not too late, and it doesn't mean that what you are doing today or where you are today or what is happening to you today, it will stay forever. No, things can change if you allow them to change. You may look at others who overcome in the Bible, Daniel, Joseph, they are all there. So as a child of God, we must not give up. We must continue to believe on what your dreams are, and they will be fulfilled. Thank you for listening. Thank you.
In the next insert, we are going to learn about the requirements for changing your banking information on the ITAS portal.
Good day, I am Nesla Watanawa, and I'm going to share with you what you need to do when changing your banking details and the requirements. This happens when a taxpayer has registered for tax purposes without adding banking details at the time of registration. The required documents are a certified copy of ID, a recent stamped bank confirmation letter, and the application form. This happens when a taxpayer is changing his or her banking details to a new bank account, or maybe when the old one has been closed. The required documents is a certified copy of the ID, a recent stamped bank confirmation letter, and the NamRA application form. A power of attorney states that NamRA can, with the taxpayer's permission, disclose any information or records on all tax matters to the appointed representative or agent. A representative or power of attorney is a person or entity who is appointed by the registered taxpayer for changing or inquiring information related to any tax matters. The required documents are certified copies of the IDs of both the representative and member and the founding statement in case of a company.
Have you ever wondered what the procedures are for importing second-hand clothing? Let's take a look at what those procedures are.
Today we are going to speak about what is expected from the trader when you want to import worn clothing into Namibia. The first thing that one has to put into consideration is what we call Section 123 of the Customs and Excise Act 20 of 98 as amended. It implies the prohibitions as well as restrictions. Now, when you are to import your own clothing, you are expected to have an import permit prior to your importation. Now, you now have to apply your import permit through the Ministry of Industrialization and Trade. Nowadays, it's done simpler online, that you can just do it on an application called Import and Export Application, shortened as IMEX. Once you have your application ready and you have the import permit at hand, you then proceed to go and import your goods, in this case worn clothing, and you are expected to come with what we call a fumigation certificate from the customs, from the country of export, and also equally your tax invoice. Thereafter, you are expected at the point of entry, upon arriving by customs officials, to declare your goods, that is to pay your duties and taxes. Thereafter, you can then proceed to your destination. I thank you.
Here is a trivia of duties.
Did you know the Integrated Tax Administration System, ITAS, became operational in January 2019, and its overall objective is to improve service delivery to taxpayers? The system provides many online benefits such as 24/7 real-time access to a taxpayer's tax account, taxpayer self-service facility, online filing of tax returns, single view of taxpayer's account, and accelerated processing of tax forms with real-time notification on outcome. The number of taxpayers registered on ITAS as of 31st May 2023 was 383,541.
NamRA. Serving with passion.
Next up are the steps on how to reset your ITAS portal password at your convenience.
Hi, I am Nesla Watanawa and I'm going to show you how you can reset your password on the ITAS portal. Step 1. On your login portal, click on Forgot Password as indicated below. Step 2. When you forgot your password, click on I forgot my password, and then indicate your login name and portal email address and submit. Step 3. When you forgot your login name, click on I forgot my login name, and then indicate your TIN and email address and submit. Step 4. After submitting number 4 in step 3, a reset link highlighted in blue will be sent to your email you registered with on the portal. Once you have clicked on the reset link, it will require you to insert your new password as shown in the screen below. Enter your new password, confirm your new password, and then submit. Now you have successfully reset your password. Our question for this episode is: when was the due date for submitting returns for individual, for salaried persons and pensioners? Do email your answer to NamRA Kachenu at namra.org.na. The due date for submission is the 13th of July 2023. The winner will be announced in the next episode.
Before we close, here are the options on how to make payment for tax debts.
My name is Angela Kamui, Senior Revenue Treasury Officer at NamRA. I'm going to take you through the process of making payments to our NamRA offices. We have 4 modes of payments which are acceptable at our offices, which are direct deposits, cash payments, electronic fund transfers, and speed points machines. When making electronic fund transfers, we have 2 accounts available for our taxpayers, which is Receiver of Revenue, account 165001, and the VAT dedicated account 165060. When making a direct deposit, our taxpayers need to fill this deposit slip at their commercial bank. You need to have your TIN with you. The TIN consists of 8 characters, and then you should also know the period that you are making the payment for. When making an electronic fund transfer, for your penalty or interest liability due to NamRA, you use the EFT referencing example as shown on the screen. It also has 19 characters, but on the text type and text period, you put 999, indicating that the payment is account payment. When making electronic fund transfers, EFT referencing example is shown on the screen, which comprises of 19 characters. The taxpayer reference number comprises of 5 parameters, which are as follows. 1. Represent the payment method, in this case, EFT payment. 06. Office of registration or your return office. The 8th character represents your tax identification number. 14 is tax type, in this case, employees tax. 2018-06 is the tax period for which the payment is meant for.
And that brings us to the end of this edition of NamRA Kachenu. We hope that you found this information valuable and insightful. Join us again in 2 weeks for more updates. Until then, stay informed and compliant. I am Ndeyapo Karipi saying goodbye.
Giving fairness and equality.